Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Lasham Daily Briefing for Wednesday, the 4th of February, 2025. Starting off here, synoptic picture, midnight last night, a couple of lows here out to the west there in this general big area of low pressure. One to the sort of the more northerly one, leading to a very, very widespread occlusion here that passed over us last night, bringing some of that poor wet and windy weather. Having moved through now, that will lead to some very saturated air, but hopefully clearance later in the afternoon with no other significant frontal activity. Still, this big blocking high over the Scandies here, diverting all the rubbish weather down towards us, and that looks to continue for the next week or so at the very least. Into the next day or so, tomorrow, a series of occlusions here from that more southerly low pressure passing over, leading to probably unflyable weather, unfortunately. And then it's very much the same story for the rest of the week. Back to today, to make the most of it. But cloud to begin with, fairly low in places coming from the south coast. That's going to begin clearing from the south coast, I'd imagine, from sort of later morning. No real precipitation to affect us in the country or in the channel, for a matter of fact. And if we look at the rain forecast, just run that through, you'll see sort of small thinner showers to the north and the southwest there, but nothing of concern to us for our flying window today. Still waiting to get TAF from Odium. Unfortunately, they've not released that yet, but their observation 30 minutes ago was 110 degrees, 6 knots, so a little very light southeasterly. Visibility of greater than 10 kilometers with mist and overcast at 600 feet, with a dew temperature and dew point of 6 degrees and low pressure there of 909.1. Farnborough, they do have a TAF. They are suggesting, again, light southeasterly today, 6,000 meter visibility, and this is sort of early stages today, breaking at 1,000 feet, becoming visibility greater than 10 and scattered at 2,000 feet, and that's from any time between 9 and 12 this afternoon. That will become into the afternoon beyond 12 o'clock, 080, 10 knots coming around more to the east, and a prop 30 of breaking at 1,000 feet between 12 and 2, and prop 30 between 4 and 6 of breaking up 1,000. So hoping to see that scattered at 2,000, and it's going to be prop 30, so unlikely, hopefully, to see that reduction down to 1,000 foot. Winds aloft, showing southeasterly both to the north and south of Lasham, generally 25, 30 knots to the south in places, but 15 to 25 to the north, so we can expect something in that region. Another ground there, beginning the day with a sort of southeasterly flow across the airfield there. Looking sort of into the afternoon, it's come round more easterly in favour of 09. The local Met Office forecast here showing a little bit of lower clouds, or thicker cloud, I should say, to begin with, opening up into the afternoon with about 10 knots in terms of the wind speed all throughout today, gusting up towards no more than 18 or 19 this morning and early afternoon, possibly increasing later into the day. Temperature there around 8 or 9 degrees in the warmest part of the day with a dew point of 6, so we should be getting a reasonable split. Hopefully once we get a bit of heating, and that will help deal with some of the lower clouds as well. Presently at 6.3 degrees with a dew point of 4.8 locally at Lasham. And that's the webcam on the south side looking to the west. So you can see a fairly low layer of cloud there, but starting to improve, and certainly gaps beginning to show. Southeasterly breeze there, pointing towards 0916. There's a cross section from SkySight suggesting a period of thicker cloud, certainly lower cloud, until sort of 11:30ish midday, and then fairly speedy improvement in conditions there, leading to a nice, clear, possibly slightly convective afternoon. And Top Meteo telling a similar story, a little bit more graphic. So it's beginning 8 o'clock local this morning. We can see a lot of low-level cloud in our area there, below 1,000 feet. There's some cases below 500 feet. We just run that through. You can see a clearance from the south. That's midday, so a little bit of Q here as well below the auto Q, and that should be starting to clear in our area. And then certainly after that, it does increase, hopefully being more or less okay for the remainder of the day before a little bit more auto Q works its way in towards the evening. We'll look at the NOTAMs now, if we can get the chart to display itself. Nothing of great significance there, certainly outside of the airspace. Nothing to concern as the usual rocket firing or firing ranges, as can be expected, but nothing to affect us locally based on our forecast for today. So we'll move on now to the local briefing. 3 K21s today on big flying and a K71 for the casual list. Got 4 students on the casual list, or 4 people on the casual list, some requiring instructors. So if there is an instructor around that would like to help, that would be greatly appreciated. Now we have plenty of single-seater availability and the simulator is available as normal. We have nothing to affect today with regards to movements. And in summary, we had an occlusion passing overnight as a result of the low pressure to the south. This led us to have some saturated air and low cloud to begin. As the charts are indicating, we should expect that to clear between late morning and about midday, and then to have a moderate southeasterly flow throughout the day, becoming more easterly as it goes on. With that, we'll be on runway 09 with launching on the runway but landing on the grass still. We'll have cables along the south side. So there's our airfield set up to finish. As always, do not land or taxi across the disused runways shown here in red. And here's our airfield set up with the multiple vehicle in the center of the runway, winching from the south side of the hard and aero towing north of the center line. That's all from me this morning. We'll see you out there shortly. Let's have a good day and keep it safe. Thank you very much.